Welcome back to another episode of The Rhythm. I'm your host, Jared Reed, aka Five. I got another five in the building.
Five life.
And before we get started,
Yes, sir.
holla at my idol for a second.
Yeah, first of all, you know what I'm saying? We want to thank God, just, you know what I'm saying, dead serious, because if it weren't for him, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't be here. But it's like this, though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of like the South having something to say, there's really no more fitting person to be here than my man next to me, my homie Nilly. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you, bro.
Definitely, man. One
Like
time for the one time. It's a long time coming.
for sure. We've been trying to put this into the work for at least 3 or 4 months at this point.
Yeah.
Thank God your grandmother had a birthday.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
can
for
kind of
sure.
put
Shout
this
out my
together.
mom, man. Yeah.
But man, really want to get into, your history, kind of how you got started. What you got 27,000, Instagram followers. You got a lot of, songs out there,
Mhm.
a lot of bars. I mean, you was
Come
on a
on.
show with Rick Ross. Like,
Come
we're
on.
gonna talk about it all.
Yeah.
We're gonna
get to
talk
it.
about it all.
We're gonna get to it.
But man, like you from New Orleans.
Yeah. From New Orleans. My story kind of different. So started in New Orleans, the East Bank, playing football, basketball, baseball, Joe Brown Park, Parkview Elementary in Gentilly, Beacon Light Church
See,
in Maribel.
that's how you start naming churches.
Yeah. Like my mom was a choir director, my dad was a senior deacon, so like I was very invested in the church. But yeah, first 12 years of my life in New Orleans. And then after Hurricane Katrina, I wound up moving to North Dallas, like the Plano Frisco area. They most notably known because the Cowboys practice facility is out there. So
Yeah.
when I was out there, it was like straight, like was underdeveloped. Like when I was out there, it was 2 high schools. Now they got like 14 high schools. So that should let you know, like it was like the fastest growing city. Frisco is the fastest growing city in America.
And it's beautiful out there. I mean, they got new
Yeah.
stuff everywhere out there, right?
Yeah, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. So, New Orleans first 12, and the next 5 was in Plano, Frisco, and then after I graduated high school, I moved back to Louisiana. Was in BR for pretty much 9 years.
Yeah.
I had a little stint in Atlanta for the TV show. We'll talk about that,
Yeah.
but little stint in Atlanta, little stint in Dallas, but pretty much BR for 9 years. Then I went to Atlanta for 2 years. Like week 2 of me being in Atlanta, COVID hit.
Damn.
So it's just like I was trying to hit the ground running with the music stuff, and then it's like, wait, hold on, nah, not yet, not yet. And then 2 years in Atlanta, then I decided to move to LA.
Yeah.
So I'm in LA right now. It's just I'm traveling around, just trying to find my spot, and then developing the connections along the way, because that's what's really important.
I mean, to go back to your early years, like, all right, so you're in the church, but like, I guess that's where your music kind of derives from,
Most
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Like, fell in love with melodies and harmonies and boys and girls and men and women singing together, and it sounded like one sound, but it's different sounds. Like that's when it clicked, because it was like I mean, Black praise and worship is like the goal. Like when you really sit there, like, because I wasn't really understanding what the preacher was talking about, but like when you feel it, like I remember the first time I had chills just listening to people sing.
Yeah.
And then that's when music had moved me, like, for sure. Like my mom was a choir director, so like I was always in the church. Like I got singing background. Like I sang way before I rap. So just that feeling in the church with music moving you, because you find out it's deeper than just the ability. It's like the message and the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Because if you can get somebody to feel something, you can get somebody to really connect. So yeah, I was tapped in ever since, like singing, and I always been like, I would always been big on poetry and stuff. I used to write my parents and grandparents like poems for like their birthdays, anniversaries, and stuff. Even as young, like I'm talking about like in a kindergarten, first grade.
Yeah.
Like, so with me being ingratiated with music, with the church background, it was only right. It was only a matter of time.
I mean, what's funny? I think like the music sound of like New Orleans, right?
Mhm.
All right, you've heard Hot Boys.
Yeah.
And I mean, although you grew up in a church, but you
Yeah,
still
yeah, yeah. No,
influenced by
no,
certain groups, right?
for
You
sure.
you know you got a song in the 17, like you did a video next
Yeah.
to a Wayne
Shout
mural,
out to
like
Wayne.
so like you take that influence, right?
Mhm.
And then Katrina happens.
Yeah.
You get to Dallas, which is a totally different sound.
Totally different.
They talk different, they dress different, they knees different because the way cats be doing all kind of pause, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's different.
For
So
sure.
and then you not only do you're in Dallas, but you go back to BR, which is a
Mhm.
totally different sound
Right.
than New Orleans that you
Right.
experience.
Right.
How does all of those mix into and kind of create what you are today?
So first of all, Hurricane Katrina was really a blessing for me.
Okay.
But that's just naturally how I am. I always take like something bad that happens and I turn it into something I could use for good. Like, I go from being at a school with all black people,
Yeah.
all black people. Like when they talk about Texas, I thought about people riding horses and stuff. Like I was so
Close
like
mind.
closed minded. So like I go to a school where it's like immediately go from a school with all black people at St. Aug to a school that's 70% Hispanic. So immediately I'm like, I have to adapt. Like I'm no longer like everybody doesn't look like me.
Yeah.
So like I'm low key standing out more because like I'm not like the normal person. On top of that, like I'm in all these honors classes where it might be two black people in there
Yeah.
and stuff. So like I kind of like that's where I started to grow comfort in like just standing out amongst the crowd and like just being able to get out of my comfort zone
Yeah.
and like talk to different people with different races, different backgrounds, different religions and stuff. Like I'm like ingratiated into that like 12 years old. So it was a culture shock of like learning new things and being around different people. But as far as the transition from New Orleans to Dallas, it was like that. But from Dallas to BR, like I tell everybody, like my freshman year at LSU, my first semester, I turned from a boy to a man, like
Yeah.
real quick.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just college; it was the fact that like what people don't understand is like y'all see the Go Tigers and y'all see the football, basketball, and like the track and field, but LSU is right in the middle of the hood,
Hood. Yeah.
like right in the middle of the hood. So like you mess around and do something like it could cost you everything.
Yeah.
So like I had to grow up so fast. Like my parents, they sacrificed everything, made sure that I wasn't without. So like even when we was struggling, we didn't really feel like we were
Struggling.
struggling.
Yeah.
But to like I remember I got dropped off at the LSU UREC to my mom was crying. Got dropped off at LSU UREC to play basketball and stuff. So I'm playing there and I come back and you see it because I'm walking from the UREC to Kirby Smith, RIP Kirby Smith. Like they tore it down. But I'm walking to Kirby Smith and you see so much,
Yeah.
like because you in the middle of the hood. Like so, but at the same time, going back to me going to Dallas,
Yeah.
it's like I'm learning to adapt to new places and be the norm because I never want to appear green, like I don't know when I'm
Yeah.
like I'm out of place. So like you just peep a lot of different things because in New Orleans you take that for granted because everybody's like family atmosphere, even though it get treacherous.
Yeah.
But like that's the hometown, so like you know how it is. But that's where God was planting the seed in me to be able to adapt to new places. So as I transitioned to go to Atlanta and go to LA,
Yeah.
it wasn't as hard of a switch
Yeah.
because I've
You've
been
already done it.
basically doing that shit my whole life.
Yeah. Now I can kind of connect with that, man. I've went to a lot of different schools, been around a lot of different people, whether
Yeah.
it's black, white. I just think that's more so like I don't want to say just a Louisiana thing, but like when I go to different places,
Yeah.
it's like I can automatically stand out amongst people. Not like I'm trying to,
Hmm.
but it's almost easy just because. And I think Hurricane Katrina, just for one, it forced
Right.
this generation to be like, hey, bro, like different people gonna be around. What you knew as normal is no longer.
Facts.
You have to change, and if you don't,
Facts.
you're gonna get left behind. It's crazy that you brought up like LSU and like surely if you go right, say you're on Highland, you go right, you in a really nice part of town. You go left, hey, bro, like
Treacherous.
you better be careful how you step in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying be no punk, be no bitch, but But be careful what you doing, what you saying, because
Yeah,
it can go left real quick.
nah, for sure.
But to the music and just I guess I think about like the influence that maybe BR had on you,
Hmm.
like musically, right?
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of it's different, but when you in it, it's like, oh shit, no, this shit kind of hard.
right.
Like,
It's
how did that influence
it's a certain arrogance about BR.
you?
Like it's a certain and like always like I remember shout out to Trevante Taylor. That was the first person I met, and I was like, "What y'all listen to in BR?" He said, "Man, we listen to Gates and Level." I'm like, "Who
Who?
the hell is Level?"
Hey, bro. Hey, bro.
Like,
Hey, bro.
and it's crazy how that come full circle because I just was at 11:11. Shout out to my boy Mo. I was just at 11:11,
Shout out to
and
Mo Swag.
Level was performing. So it's crazy how life worked. But Baton Rouge is like where I grew up, where I became a man for real. So like the arrogance of Baton Rouge, like yeah, this is like the
Dumb
like
shit.
we don't give a fuck like it's us versus everybody type mentality
Yeah.
is where like in the times of me living in Baton Rouge, that's when I got my arrogance and confidence to be like, look, they can't fuck with me on this mic. So
Yeah.
like that's really what it was. Cause even the early stages of Gates, um, got an opportunity to be around some of NBA young boys, people, and like
Yeah.
just that arrogance of like I can't be fucked with. That's what Baton Rouge kind of like
It forces you.
embraced me with.
No. It
Yeah.
forces you to have like if you don't have confidence in yourself, like how do you expect other people to have confidence in you? Like if
Nah,
you
for real.
and it's not necessarily being bashful, but
Hmm.
you gotta exude some semblance of a confident spirit
Yeah.
amongst other people. Like, okay, this is what I do.
Hmm.
All right, are you the best at it? And
Yeah.
if you don't feel like you're the best at it, you really don't do what you say that you do.
Right. And it's like in order to be great at anything,
Yeah,
you have to have a certain type of belief in yourself to
yeah,
where like other people will look at you like it's crazy. Like it really has to be like a certain level of insanity that you have to have. Like when you think about people talk about the 10,000 hours,
yeah.
you got to put in 10,000 hours for something to master it or be great at it. I didn't done that like three, four, five times over. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm doing anything, I don't care if we playing spades, if we hooping, or if I'm on the mic. I'm trying to give it my best and I'm trying to be the best at it because if I'm not doing that, I feel like I'm doing not just a disservice to myself, but a disservice to everybody who believe in me and sacrifice. Like, because it's just a mentality thing. Once you change my dad always say, change your mind, change your life,
Yeah.
because it got to happen here first before it materialize in the real world. But yeah, like that Baton Rouge spirit is in me for sure.
All right. So, you talking about change your mind, change your life. You change your life pretty quickly and you go straight to Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Atlanta's different. So I
Very.
mean, it's the South, but it's different.
Nah.
So like how did you want end up out there and then you
Mhm.
do a show with Ross?
Yeah. So okay. So let's backtrack. So I'm in I'm in Baton Rouge.
Hmm.
Um, I'm in the master's program at Southern, and I was fortunate enough to where LSU did everything for me that I needed it to do.
Yeah.
Like whether that be like that's where I got my following, doing all the performances and stuff. Spring Fest, opening up for the artists. I was able to open up for Wayne and Young Thug at Southern. I was able to open up for so many people. So that's why I was thankful for my college experience.
Yeah.
So like my master's program at Southern, getting my MBA, and they got this opportunity. Ironically, Myron, we both know Myron. Shout out to
Shout out to
Myron.
my we was gonna get to Myron,
Myron
but go.
sent me. Myron sent me a thing, and like people send me things all the time, and I be thinking shit be scams and stuff. So I applied to be on this TV show. It was originally supposed to be on MTV, but it changed to
Yeah.
VH1. So like I'm applying, but I'm still going to class. I'm still taking these tests. My friends is like, I don't even know why you still going to class. You're gonna wind up having to leave school because you're gonna be on the show. But I'm just like, it's too good to be true. So they fly me. I had to send audition tape,
Yeah.
like me performing. day in the life with my friends. They're trying to get to know me. I'm rapping for these people. So
Is it like a Zoom call? Like just hey,
type shit. This
yeah,
is like a Zoom call, and I'm not thinking nothing of it because, like I said, at that time I done been scammed before. People then tried to fake sign me to a label, and it's just like all that stuff. So I wasn't really. I'm like it. I'll know it's real when I see it's real.
yeah,
So like, I'm still going to class and shit, and I make it to the final round. They say it's the final round. We're gonna fly you out to LA. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, whatever. This is why I know the jig is up. They send me like a first class ticket to LA. I never been to LA. So I'm like, oh yeah, this shit is real. I go out there, I perform, I kill it. It's like 2 months later, I'm kind of just waiting around, and then I'm getting my hair cut. So like the meme of like when that's going around social media, like when you in a barber chair, you just laughing and shit. But
yeah.
when he edging you up,
Yeah.
everything
Everybody
like
like
everybody like be still. So he edging me up, and my phone ring. So I'm not trying to move. So I move like real slow. And I see it's the 818 number. That's LA area code. So I'm like, okay, if they calling, I know what it is. So I tell my boy Joe P, stop. I walk outside, lady beating around the
you still
bush.
got the cape on? You still got the barber cape on?
Type shit. Yeah. I still got it on. So I had to walk. I was like, dude, this really important. I gotta walk out. And I already let them know because they already told me.
Yeah.
I walked out. They said, well, congratulations, you made it to the show, blah blah. And me being a perfectionist, I'm still trying to get my professors to send me work so I don't have to drop out and shit. Like they was like, yeah, we're not doing that. So I had to withdraw. So then I moved to Atlanta
Okay.
because that's where the show is being filmed. What you gotta understand, 3,000 people applied to be on that show, and basically only 30 people got airtime. And out of the 30 people, I was in the top 8. So when you really think about it, like
Yeah.
eight out of a 3,000, like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like I was blessed. So it's cool when LSU know me from music and like your friends say you good at music. But when you see Rick Ross jamming to your shit, it hit totally different. Cause now it's no longer like this is something that I'm chasing. Nah, this is something that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like people know everywhere. So like get a glimpse of that. Very grateful for that opportunity being on VH1 Sign. Shout out to the Dream and Lenny S of Rock Nation who kind of took me under his wing, kind of gave me some game along the years.
Yeah.
So when you go to Atlanta and you like around all of the music aspects and stuff, when I got back to BR, it was like, okay, I feel like I've stretched myself in Baton Rouge as much as I possibly can. Like I was on the radio, I opened up for all these people, and
Yeah.
I feel like I did my due diligence there. It's time to elevate. So
Yeah.
like that's when I go to Atlanta, and then I start meeting with these record producers and start recording in these critically acclaimed studios and stuff. And then also since I don't sound like I'm from Atlanta, it made me like tap more into like different layers of production and just getting out of my comfort zone to make me a more well-rounded, not only just a well-rounded rapper, but a well-rounded human being.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how Atlanta happened. Because the seed was planted for the VH1. The seed was planted for the VH1 TV show. So I was like, yeah, let me go and really like and get fully surrounded by that.
I really want to kind of go back a little bit.
Hmm.
Like you rapping. How did like you come from a church background? Your mother was in the church, your father in the church.
Yeah,
How do they even feel about you rapping? Like
yeah,
what's the tone? Like
yeah.
cause bro, like I grew up in the church.
Uh huh.
My father's a pastor, like a minister. So
Hmm.
I can only imagine what that was like for you, like
Nah, for
doing
sure.
music and your parents like deep in the church.
So what people don't know now, for the longest time, I didn't curse in my music.
Okay.
I didn't even curse in my music. Like it was like a real long time. Like my whole time at LSU, I didn't really curse in my music for real. Cause I always, I'll, I understand that like we got the same last name by the way, Reed.
That's crazy.
That's real crazy. So that Reed name that it was
I
always ingratiating into me that shit means something when you walk out. Like you're not just representing you
that,
represent everybody.
bro, listen.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with so many people.
Yeah.
Like you can do say, but if you walk outside these doors,
Yeah.
you represent something bigger than yourself.
Right, right. And then fraternity life
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah,
took it up to another level.
yeah.
So I just always wanted to like represent my people, make them proud. But it got to a point to where it was just like it was actually my dad sat me down, and that was crazy. He said, "Look, son, like I understand what you're trying to do, but it's okay. Like sometimes," he said this, and I quote, "Sometimes if you feel like it's fuck that bitch, you can't say forget that broad because other people will see that and they will be like, I know what he really trying to
That's
say,
it.
and it comes off disingenuous. So sometimes you just gotta, if it's fuck that bitch, you gotta be like, fuck that bitch.
But
So that imagine having that conversation with your father, and
did
then it
your
was
did your
just like,
dad curse usually or just
I mean, he a military man, so like,
yeah, okay, okay.
yeah,
That's what I'm about to say. Like,
yeah,
because you got those some parents that just don't curse or
right,
whatever.
right, right, right,
Like,
right,
where do you draw the line?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but the
yeah.
fact that your father told you, like, hey, it's all right.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
okay. Like you don't gotta like, because when you compromising like your sound, then that's when it comes off as corny. It comes
yeah,
off as unauthentic, and that's what people really love. People really love you naturally being yourself because you can see through the facade. Like
yeah,
this got certain rappers who claim a lifestyle that they know they're not living.
yeah.
So you can see through that. You can see through that BS. So like, you know, um, that's how it started. But then I just totally switched it. Kind of like eased it in. I didn't
Yeah.
want to just like
Go
go
crazy.
off the ledge,
Yeah,
but it just made me tap into like being more like standing up in niggas' chest. Like I honestly feel like, and it took me some time, but I honestly feel like niggas can't fuck with me on this mic. Like I I don't see many niggas. It's either the niggas who I think can fuck with me, I'm inspired by them, and they push me to go harder, or it's niggas who like I feel like wasting their talents and gifts, and it make me just want to like, all right, you slacking, so I'm gonna really show you how to do this shit. Like in every show that I do my intro song, and then afterwards I introduce myself and I say, we're gonna show you how to do this shit. This is how you do this shit. So I feel like first impression is everything. So like, um, just constantly just trying to show and prove.
for sure. Like
Yeah,
so you do this right, like, and you got your parents' blessing at this point.
yeah,
You in Atlanta.
yeah.
How does one get from Atlanta now in LA?
Atlanta to LA was just it was another mindset shift. I felt like in Atlanta, I was always the square peg in the circle. So like I didn't really fit in
Yeah,
for real, which I don't mind
yeah,
because like back to saying getting out of your comfort zone and stuff. I just feel like they was like looking for the next little baby, the next Gucci, the next thug, the next trap.
yeah,
You know, I take the trap beats and I do my shit. Like my shit is lyricism, my shit is storytelling, my shit is rocking out the show, and it just kind of feels like LA is a better fit for my artistry. Now, granted, everybody's experience is different because if I was tapped in with a manager
yeah,
in Atlanta who could help me, with those different platforms and things, then my experience could have been different because there are like creatives in Atlanta for sure. Shout out to Atlanta because I really love that place. But it's just more of like if it happens in Atlanta, I can always go back to it.
yeah,
Like let's try to tap into things that I haven't been in because I only was in LA for the auditions,
yeah,
and once again the show exposed me to LA, to Atlanta, like for real. So like I was always like, okay, let me go out there and tap in, and uh it's crazy how shit go full circle because my manager is from New Orleans and went to LSU, but I met her in
yeah.
LA. You see what I'm saying? So like it's crazy how all that goes. She know like all my LBs and everything, which is super crazy. Like, but it took me getting to LA to meet her, and shout out to Tay, because she makes sure the scheduling is good. Because I've been my own manager for the longest time. That's a whole nother story. Like from sending emails in third person, you know what I'm saying? Representing
So
myself.
so wait, do you have like a fake email
Uh,
with?
A fake name,
like
yeah,
fake
yeah.
name,
Like
so you could. That's
this is Sean Jeffries representing Nilly Nation, Defy Life Entertainment, for sure. Like
I respect it.
that's how I gotta go because if somebody sees an email from me, like, yo, what's up, man? I'm trying to work. They're not gonna take it serious. But if you have somebody representing you, then and that's my one piece of game for all the artists watching this. Like,
That's hard.
represent yourself, like, and put a fake name and just represent yourself and watch how people treat you different. Like, so yeah.
That's
But
super smart.
yeah, LA has been great. It's been eye opening. I also want to tap into the visual side a lot more. And I want to tap into the acting side a lot more. That's something that people don't know. I try to sprinkle that in my music videos and stuff, but I want to tap into that as well. So while I'm in LA, getting more surrounded with both sides because I mean the gift gonna make room for me, so I'm just open to see what it can bring.
For sure. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of opportunity in LA. There's
Hmm.
a lot of people, that go to LA and they see the glitz, they see the glamour. Like, how do you
Yeah.
stay like level? You know what I'm saying? You come from, a smaller city. You come from North Dallas. You go to
Hmm.
that. Like, how does one stay grounded?
I mean, it's just it's in me. Like I got a real good sense of discernment. Like if people are not for me, my spirit will reject them. Like I can't deal with no fake shit, none of that. Cause that's what comes with LA.
Yeah,
Like it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, it's a lot of facades, it's a lot of people smiling in your face, but not really following through. So, I've been blessed to kind of find my tribe wherever I go. So LA is no different. I got like a select group of people who I rock with, a select group of people who I record with, bounce music ideas off. It works for me because, you know, you are who you surround yourself with, subconsciously or consciously. Like
yeah.
if you surrounding yourself with go getters, you naturally will want to go get it. You surrounding yourself with winners, you will naturally only find comfort in winning, and losing won't be an option. So if you surround yourself with people who are slackers and lazy, then that laziness and that slacking mindset is going to rub off on you. So no matter where I'm at, whether ATL, Dallas, at LA, New Orleans, BR, like it's about the people you surround yourself with so you can really stay on path.
That's super important. I think a lot of people need to hear that because everybody, even from down here, is like, "Up, I gotta get to Atlanta. Up, I gotta
Hmm.
get to Dallas. Up, I gotta get to LA." As if
Hmm.
like just going to those places or it is the perfect opportunity, or like I have to do this to do something. Like
Yeah.
in retrospect, it seems like so, but like if you're not going out there with the right mindset or
Right.
have the right people around you,
Right.
you could end up like the rest, right? You
Hmm.
can end up in the pool of people that's trying to do what you do and end up
Yeah.
by the wayside.
Yeah.
Um, I really want to know what really influences you, right?
Hmm.
You talk about music. I mean, there's a lot of music out there.
Yeah.
I mean, who is the one you talked about? People that you would want to compete against. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, you really ain't like that, or
Right. Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
So who are the people that are really like that to you?
Yeah. Kendrick Cole.
You
And it's so crazy what's going on right
that's
now.
what I'm talking.
We can get into that, but like anybody, like my real my real brothers who know me, like been knowing me, is the same people that I rock with is the same people I was rocking with 2010, 2011. It's crazy. And it's crazy how like they like I saw it so early. Like and I had experiences with both um Kendrick came to the varsity in 2012, and I
Yeah,
actually was like the first person to be there. And he like noticed me, and then we had like a moment when we were rapping the swimming pools
yeah,
verse together, and like he signed my Beats by Dre. He gave me some Beats by Dre headphones and signed it. This
that's
is in
tight.
2012,
Yeah,
like super super dope. And me staying prepared. I had my little mixtape ready,
yeah,
But yeah, and then when J. Cole came to LSU, that I think it was like winter semester, J. Cole came to LSU. I got an opportunity to rap for J. Cole, and you kind of see me in his the first leg of his Forest Hills
yeah,
documentary. It's on like 6 seconds, but I got an opportunity to rap for J. Cole. And then when he came back for the Forest Hills Drive tour. Um, I was living in the LSU frat house. Shout out to the LSU Alphas. I was living in the LSU frat house, and he had came, and his bus was parked like right by Chimes and
Okay.
shit, like right in that little duck off to get to
Yeah.
the frat house. And like this was super late. Um, we saw a couple of girls out there, so we going over there to Joe's, and it's a security guards like saying Cole's gonna come out, he gonna take pictures and whoop de whoop. So I'm just like, I bet. So I'm really wondering, like, do he remember me from the last time? So like I s- so he came out, he signed the autographs. I said, man, I rapped for you the last time. He said, oh, that was you? He said, oh, I met somebody that know you. He's like, that know me? And he was like, yeah, like, and I was like, that's crazy. I said, give me one piece of advice. He tapped me on the chest. He said, you always gotta speak from the heart. So like it was a super dope moment. And I was like, fuck, that would have been so dope if like we had somebody recording because the security guard was really blocking. He was like, no photography, no
Yeah, because
videography.
that could have got out and then
Right,
would have
right,
been a
right.
whole.
But shout out my nigga Jordan Biagis, my brother forever. He was recording in his pocket, like a voice memo type shit. So
You
he
got the
was
voice
record.
memo?
Did I get it, man? I got it to my engineer. He cleaned up the sound quality, and I made that an interlude on my project Balance. So there's a song called Words from Cole that goes right into my outro. It's about speaking from the heart, and then it goes into like one of the most heartfelt songs that I have called Twist and Turns. So yeah, shout out to them. You know, those are the two people who like are my biggest influences currently. How it started though, Kanye West is the reason why I make rap music
Okay.
because came up in the church. I wasn't even listening to rap. Like my dad would play rap, but it didn't really resonate with me. When I heard College Dropout, I had an out of body experience. Like you remember the CDs?
Yeah.
Like that's when I took out the CDs, going through the
Yeah.
credits and reading. I couldn't even pronounce his name, was just crazy. And I did a tribute to Kanye, and I talked about that. Like those humble beginnings. But like College Dropout made me want to rap because I'm like, he is like me. Like I wasn't like in the streets. Like I was playing basketball. I was getting good grades. I was like a good kid, like,
Yeah.
you know, in a in like a real treacherous spot. So it was just like when I heard Kanye West, I'm like, oh, I can relate. I can understand. Like he's doing something different. It just made me like that's the first time that like I've always been in poetry, but that's the first time that it clicked. It's like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That's cool. That
Yeah.
was my first moment. Cause like, you know, rappers was just like, you know, seemed like they was different, but like 50 Cent, Jay-Z, you know, my dad was listening to all that.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube, my dad's super Ice Cube fan, but I never felt like I could be like them.
Yeah.
They feel like they live a whole different
Different
lifestyle.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Kanye was like, all right,
I like polos. I like clothes.
right.
I like women.
Like he was
And
getting fresh and
it's-
stuff. Like I was
yeah.
just like, yeah, that's the shit that I like. Even as like a sixth grader, I was just like, okay, I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
So and last, Wayne made me feel like you could do it here.
Yeah.
You could do it coming from here. It was possible to do it from here. I remember when Wayne used to pass out CDs in the Plaza Mall. Rest in peace to the Plaza Mall. Katrina took man. Wayne used to pass out CDs in the Plaza Mall. My brother was like a super Wayne fan. Like before I even like rap music, my brother was always talking about Lil Wayne. I'm talking about Block Is Hot days.
Yeah.
Like we was staying in the East, like bumping them Wayne tapes and stuff. So to see Wayne elevate and to see Wayne elevate, it was around Katrina time that he really elevated to where like,
Yeah.
so I remember when the first time Wayne said he was the best rapper alive, and this goes back to like you gotta have that insanity. I was like, he not the best rapper. Like, nah, they got like so many rappers better than Lil Wayne. But that was just me like being in New Orleans. But like when after Katrina happened and he dropped Dedication 2 and he started
I think that's the one.
yeah, Dedication 2, and then like a couple of years later, No Ceilings and Drought 3, and when he dropped Carter 2, Carter 3, and like literally he went in a Grammy now. I'm just like, damn, he like spoke into that.
Can you rank the Carters for me real quick? Real quick. Can you rank the Carters for me?
Oh man, you're about to start some
You can
shit.
go one. You can go. You can go top 3. Just give me that. Just give me those.
Rank the Carters.
Yeah.
Uh That's tough
That's a usual
because when we
question.
come to Carter 4, I feel like there's hidden gems in Carter 4.
Listen, I have a theory about it all, but I just want
Okay.
you to
All right. So it really depends on what we're talking about. When we talk about these bars, Carter 2 is fucking crazy.
okay,
When we talk about a full production,
okay.
like a piece of art, it has
Nilly,
to be Carter 3.
Nilly,
Like
Nilly. Rank the
t-
albums.
all
Rank them. Stop dancing.
right, all right, all right. So fuck. Uh Carter 3 first.
Carter 3 first.
Carter 3 first. Then Carter 2 second. And then Carter 4.
You got one. Okay. All right. Well, listen.
Yeah.
Well, all right. This is my theory. My ranking is 2, 3, and 1, then 4.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this: 4 would make more sense if the leak never happened.
Okay, yeah, I can agree. I can
If the
agree.
Because if I feel like dying is on 3, like it's supposed to be,
Uh-huh.
everything on 4 makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
Everything makes so much more sense. The original Lala is on 3, like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
4 makes more sense. Like
Yeah.
Wayne would have birthed. Like if you think like Thug and the Juice Worlds are like these people wouldn't like it would be a like just because you lucky it was on a mixtape.
Yeah.
People are lucky those songs were on a mixtape and not the actual album.
Yeah.
He would have his magnum opus if it weren't for those leaks to happen.
Okay. I can understand
Um
that. I can understand
I
that.
feel like dying. What's the other joint?
Real quick.
Boom. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, what's the fuck?
Real quick. One thing that I don't like about Carter 3, and I don't know what happened, and I need some answers.
What's that?
Why is Playing with Fire not on Carter 3 anymore? And they replace it with Pussy Monster. And they acting like that's always how it been. That was not how it was.
That's not
It
how
was Playing with Fire with Miss Betty Wright. I don't know if it was a sample thing.
Hey, bro.
Because like when
It
you look
had to
at the
be.
CDs
It
now,
had to
it
be
don't
it.
even show Playing with Fire
It's
no more. And that was one of my favorite songs. Like that third verse
yeah.
in Playing with Fire when he was talking about Mama name Sita, I love you, Sita.
Yeah.
Remember when he got the
Yeah.
cleaver? He ain't give a fuck. I
You
ain't
give
give
a
a
fuck
fuck.
neither.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that is hard. Like, and they acting like it
It-
don't exist. You can't stream it nowhere. You got to go back to old YouTube videos just to listen
I
to
think
it.
about that with Crit. What's the album that like it was a mixtape and they dropped it as an album. Like I
Mhm.
can't listen to it on Apple Music because
Right.
like certain things in the ad libs aren't
Right.
there and like it doesn't sound like it's supposed to
Same
sound.
thing with No Ceilings.
Like
Like you put No Ceilings on it, and where is Run This Town? Like where's Ice Cream Paint Job? Like where are these songs? Like
it's gotta be clearance.
right.
Favorite Wayne mixtape.
Okay, yeah. I'm a die on this hill.
Okay.
No Ceilings.
That's fine.
No Ceilings. I think shout out my boy AD. He has dedication 2
Yeah.
and then Drought 3 and No Ceilings. I have it inverse. I have No Ceilings, Drought 3, and then Dedication 2. Like,
I think people confuse or misconstrue favorite with best.
yeah.
Like you can have a favorite. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best. Like I
Uh-huh.
think Dedication 2 is the best one.
Uh-huh.
But my favorite one is Drought 3.
Yeah.
Just because of what it means to me and
Uh-huh.
how I feel in certain things. Like when I first
Right.
heard oh my god, what's the Beyonce flip?
Upgrade you.
Upgrade you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, oh shit. All right. What's the joint that he dissed Jay-Z on? Oh my god. It's about to fuck me up.
Dang,
I'm about to, oh my god, about to have me look it up. Oh
that's
my god.
crazy.
This is the one that made Jay-Z question. And I rap this shit like, oh my god, Drought 3. Watch. This is what you get from a podcast. Drought 3.
I
All
fuck
right.
with Drought 3 tough. I fuck with that. I fuck with that top back freestyle.
Oh, that was what I got.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first heard that, like the hit niggas in the head, like Vonda, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is when bars meant something to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. I said, this nigga cold.
Mm-hmm.
He the best one. Ain't nobody ever gonna touch him. And then like maybe like 10 years later, I hear what Jay-Z said when he heard that shit, he had to take a long walk and question,
Yeah.
like, damn.
Is this what
this nigga might be better than me. That's when I knew. I was like, all right, that feeling that I had when I heard it,
Right.
the best, in some people's eyes, the best other rapper in the world
Mhm.
had to take a walk when he heard it. All right, so in my mind, I'm in the same playing field. I'm in the right thought process that
Mhm.
that motherfucker is the one. Wayne
Right.
is the one.
Right.
So
I mean that's how I felt about No Ceilings. Like
yeah,
I leave the pussy Microsoft like Windows
it's
Vista.
the
Like that's like that whole wasted freestyle and ice cream paint job. I love to run this town. I'm so cold as BR, add another three
yeah,
R's. Watch you like DVD, VCR, pump to your chest. I ain't talking CPR.
yeah,
Like, bruh, like Wayne, I just feel like Wayne was just, it feels effortless.
yeah,
It feels like, I can't be fucked with. Like I'm just out here trying shit and it's coming out great. Like that's what No Ceilings meant to me. But also No Ceilings was a certain period of time,
yeah.
like when was just like listening to music at a different level. I stopped listening to music as a fan and started to listen to music as like, those are the beginning days of me actually trying to do music.
Okay,
So like No Ceilings was a reference. Like I heard No Ceilings and I was like, okay, I want to drop a mixtape. So it inspired me to do something musically. So that's maybe why No Ceilings is where it is, because when the drought came out, I wasn't on that type of time. When Dedication 2 came out, it was like peak Katrina time. So like I
yeah,
wasn't really like even worried about music like that. But yeah, Dedication 2 was a time because during like
yeah,
it's like actual Katrina times and we like hearing that and it was just like,
yeah.
okay.
Georgia
And
Bush on there,
oh
like
yeah,
yeah. So it,
Cannon was
hey,
crazy.
bro, like I would have like being another artist at that time
Mhm.
had to have spooked you. Imagine you having a number one hit, right? And you fuck around get a Wayne tape. They got
Right,
your beat on there.
right,
He not even selling it, so you can't necessarily sue him for nothing.
right.
He just rapping on it.
Yeah,
The remix that he's doing is probably outdoing your song.
yeah. Wayne has he's the only person to where I feel like if Wayne gets on your remix
Yeah,
and he does his own thing, it's a high possibility that people will not give a fuck about
yeah,
your one. He definitely did that from for Sky is the Limit.
yeah.
Most people, when they hear that beat, they automatically say, I ride for my
My
motherfucking
motherfucking
niggas.
yeah,
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna die with my finger. Like, people don't know that that's a song called Mr. Jones
yeah,
for Mike Jones. If you play that song and you say, whose song is this? People are gonna say Lil Wayne.
yeah.
They're not even gonna mention Mike Jones.
People
So
get
that's
people get
like,
upset when you play like original versions of things. Like, all right, what a
right,
Wayne
where the Wayne verse at? Like when people play "Oh Let's Do It," shout out to Waka Flocka. Like shout out to Waka Flocka. When people play "Oh Let's Do It," and I don't hear that, I got Young Money up. Like
I
I'm
got
just
my
like,
feet up
what's
soon
missing
in
here?
this bitch.
When and even like, cause like we went to like turn colleges, so
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when they play Swag Surf, like it's fire. Like and people, Swag Surf has its own identity.
But when you play that, all right, you can play Swag Surf at the basketball game.
Right,
You can play that at But if you say we at a tailgate,
yeah,
homecoming,
right,
in a
right,
in a field full of black people,
yeah,
if you don't, we don't want to hear
right,
Swag Surf.
right.
No, we want Wayne.
Right,
We
right.
we
Or
want
play a little bit and
yeah,
then
yeah,
cut to that
yeah. Shout
Wayne.
out to
Like
Mo. Mo gonna have it right. Shout out to Mo. Mo gonna have it right,
shout
bro.
out to Mo.
Before we get you out of here, I appreciate one. First of all, I appreciate you pulling up,
Nah, for
and
sure.
this has been really cool to kind of talk to you, get through some ideas.
Hmm.
What's something that you kind of foresee for yourself in the future? Um, it could be, I mean, more importantly, musically, right? Like,
Hmm.
how do you see yourself in the next, let's say 3 months, 6 months, year?
Yeah. So the first thing is shout out to all the people who's been rocking with me for it's been a long time coming. And it's been steadily improving. So, you know, we find ourselves being like, if I'm not at my end all be all, then I feel like I haven't really done anything. But it's the journey that's like really important. and the people that have been sticking with me, I'm forever indebted to them. Right. So coming up, so we just came off me basically doing 15 freestyles like consistently every Tuesday, which has been dope and it's been a lyrical exercise for me. And we've done dope things visually. Shout out to my boy Malik, who's recorded all 15 of them. I'm forever thankful for him. And what I did was comprise those all on a mixtape, and I have that available for people to purchase from me directly from Bandcamp. So and it's like a pay what you want type of thing to
Yeah.
where people can like you can pay $5, $10. It's a person who sent me $200 for the just supporting me because all of that money, all those proceeds are going into the investment of my project.
Yeah.
So I'm coming out with another full length album, which I haven't done since 2021. I've kind of just been doing EPs and singles and freestyles and things. So like all of this, I just feel like nowadays, especially when music is so easily accessible,
Mm.
like you have to earn the right for somebody to want to hear you drop. Like unless you like Beyonce, you can't just be dropping out of the sky. Like you need to prep your fans to want new music. Like I feel like it's kind of insensitive to drop
Yeah.
when your fans are not wanting you to drop. Like so the freestyles have been like teasing them and giving them new content to listen to, also visuals to see,
Yeah.
so that when I drop my debut single and when I drop my debut video for the single, you've already like become
Adjusted.
like adjusted to
Yeah.
know that like I'm dropping early and often. So that's kind of been like, and it's crazy because the plan is actually working because people are in my DMs like, yo, when the new music coming out?
Yeah.
When is your music coming out? So like now I know that I have people's palette ready to receive music from me. And I think that that's most important because you can have the dopest shit, but without a marketing plan and without people who are eager and waiting on it, like it doesn't matter. Like you can have the dopest song in the world, but if only 10 people listening to it, and if people don't even want it, then like for example, there might be like this super fire Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
Like, but if you don't want a Letterman jacket, it don't matter how fire it is.
Yeah.
It's just something that doesn't concern you. So me doing these freestyles has prep people to all right, we are used to you dropping often. So we want new music from you. We want to be able to stream it. We want to come to shows. Like I got everybody ask me when is the next show and stuff. But I had to take a break from doing shows just so I can hone in on the craft. So like debut single is coming very soon, which will be followed by a project, which will be followed by a tour. Tour is going to be in LA, Houston, Atlanta, New Orleans, Dallas, I think Oklahoma City, Austin. So like I'm funding my own tour, and then there will be a merch drop that comes with the project.
Yeah. Full
As
rollout.
yeah, as well as there's gonna be a couple of feature artists on it. Like we've been working. That's why I say we've been working.
You got a title?
I don't have a title
All
yet.
right. All right.
I've been me and my manager. We've been trying to come up with a title. But I'll send you some stuff before it comes out
I,
so you can like understand like it's gonna be different. It's definitely gonna be different. Subject matter, of course, bars will be there. Bars will always be there, but it's gonna be a different vibe. And one thing I'll tease is that I'm like I said, I have a singing background. It's gonna be a lot more of the duality of bars and melodies as
I,
well. So
hey, bro, the world is your oasis. This is your project. You
yeah.
you do as you feel. And I
Mhm,
mean, if you've been preparing people for and listeners, not just fans, but just people that you know have just stumbled upon your craft, like
mhm.
do as you see fit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when did it come? When did it happen to be like a? It went from this a love. Now it seems like you put in like true effort. Not saying that you weren't
Yeah.
putting effort in, but now it's like a whole thought process behind your work.
So one thing is, once again, shout out to my manager Tay. She is keeping the organization of what we have going on to make sure we are moving as a unit and moving forward. So big shout out to her. Number one. Number two, it's like I'm not in college no more.
Uh,
Like you know, time is passing, and I always tell my friends like I never want the conversation of y'all remember when Chanel used to rap? I never want that conversation to come up. So now it's just like I have to go in all in. And then on top of that, I really feel like these niggas can't fuck with me. Like I really feel like these niggas cannot fuck with me like at all. Like some of these millionaire niggas with millions of followers, touring albums on Billboard. I feel like some of them niggas can't fuck with me like at all. So it's like the only thing that guarantees a failure is to quit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm getting better every day. Every day. Like I'm way better than I was a couple weeks ago. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it'll be a disservice for me to stop. And all the people who've invested their time, money, ears, words in me to stop. Like stopping is not even an option. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand up in these niggas' chests. I'm gonna drop this heat shit and let these niggas know that like, I'm gonna be here forever. So that's really what it's all about. And I'm excited. I get antsy just thinking about it. Ideas flow at all times. So I'm super excited. This next project is definitely gonna be one of the ones for sure.
For sure. Well,
Mhm.
that's been another episode of the Rhythm.
Wait, real
Oh, go
quick,
my fault.
real quick, because I wanna turn the table
What's
for
that?
you. Um, if you had to do a starting five of all Pelicans slash Hornets, give me a starting five and give me two people off the bench.
Starting five. All right, that's Chris Paul. Give me Zion. Give me. All right. See that? I want the game to be played a certain way.
Uh-huh.
Give me Jamal Mashburn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm gonna put Mash at the 4, so I can put Page at the 3, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll take Tyson Chandler and give me Brandon off the bench. And this one tough. I don't.
So you said Chris Paul, Jamal Mashburn,
Chris Paul, Zion, Jamal Mashburn, Peja, Tyson Chandler,
and Tyson Chandler.
and then give me Brandon off the bench, and I'll just add CJ.
CJ off the bench.
Yeah, because CJ
Okay.
be perfect with 6 man. But
Yeah. Mine is crazy. Like I personally feel like you leaving Anthony Davis off.
nah, fuck him.
Oh, so you on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
yeah,
You
fuck
on
him.
that time.
I don't fuck that dude.
Okay, okay. Anthony Davis is definitely in a
Definitely, like if Anthony Davis had a different name, if you gave him like Paul Brown, like all right, I'd put that guy. That yeah,
Okay. So mine definitely my back. I mean, my front court is gonna be Zion and Anthony Davis. I feel like that shit'll go crazy. But Anthony Davis got to be inspired. Like Anthony Davis
the
got to
fact
be
that you got to
inspired.
say Anthony Davis got to be inspired is like that's the issue that I have
Okay.
with that guy. But
Okay.
and
But
if the backcourt would have been so fire, why did he just say I'm gonna leave when he knew they had a #1 pick? But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead.
okay. CP for sure.
Yeah,
Chris Paul is my favorite basketball player ever. Um, my two and my three. Um, I like Jamal Mashburn, but I'm gonna go a different place. Um, let me get uh
I mean, I left off Baron Davis. I left off.
so how you feel about AD? That's how I feel about Baron
Okay,
Davis. I
that
feel
will
like
suffice.
he quit on us because he was hurt. He put on a Warriors uniform and he had a full bill of health. Shout out to Baron Davis's mother, one of my customers from an old job that I had.
Shout out to
A
B
very
Dave.
a very great woman. But I feel like Baron Davis quit on us for real. Like you say, you want the game to be played a certain way.
Yeah.
Um, give me JJ Redick. I
Okay.
like JJ Redick in that two spot as long as I have a dog to come up because he ain't gonna play the 40 minutes.
Okay.
But like, give me JJ Redick, give me Jamal Mashburn off the bench, um, and give me Bi off the bench as well. I have a love hate relationship with Brandon Ingram. I'm
It
not gonna lie.
see Brandon. I mean, we can. I think Brandon talent wise is like top tier in my opinion, right? Like I think
Mhm.
he has all the talent in the world.
Mhm.
Where Brandon gets me is like, well, almost sometimes frustrates me is like his reluctancy to grow.
Mhm.
Like I guess he feels like he has to play a certain way for him to be great,
Yeah.
which I get because you can't tell me like that guy the way he played didn't grant him the number 2 pick or
Yeah.
get him to an All-Star game. No
Mhm.
matter how you feel that way, but I don't know how Brandon Ingram reaches his true potential until like he shows me.
Yeah.
Like his reluctancy to just shoot the ball at times
Mhm.
aggravates me because I know you can shoot. I've seen it.
Mhm.
It's like one of those things like I think somebody was talking about this on like ESPN earlier, like a quarterback. They were talking about Michael Penix Jr. and his ability to make passes in against certain defense. All right, he did it against Texas. They're like, all right, we've seen him do it. That's all scouts worry about. Like, can
Mhm.
somebody do something? Well, we've seen it already. Like, we know it can happen. So how do we get that done on a consistent basis? I've seen Brandon do it,
Yeah.
and he's reluctant to do it daily. It's the consistency part. Like,
Mhm.
how does that dude become better? Because I think he's on in an upper echelon group of talent.
Yeah. I've my love hate relationship with Brandon Ingram is off the fact that I just feel like the offense stops when he has the ball in his hand. There's not a lot of opposite motion. I feel like if Brandon Ingram would catch the ball, rip through, go, or catch the ball, swing, pick away, circle up, be off the ball. Like I just feel like the game slows down, which granted, he's a great one-on-one player.
Yeah,
But I just feel like in order for the Pelicans to get to that next level, there has to be a lot more action, especially with Zion being in and out of the lineup. Like there has to be a lot more action off the ball. And I want him to like I want Brandon Ingram to play like a mix between Richard Hamilton coming off screens as well as how can I put this? Uh, I just want him to not be a ball stopper. That's my biggest thing.
I think that's more of like a coaching thing because
Okay.
to be honest, because that's not necessarily okay. Yeah, Brandon does do that. I'm not gonna fight you on that one. But Brandon hasn't played in a couple of weeks. They do exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
The ball stops now. So is that
Uh,
on Brandon per se? No, because I got data that tells me that shit happens without Brandon.
yeah.
So who is it necessarily on?
Mm,
And I get it. Like that shit does happen. That shit pisses me off all the time. Like they talk about like this point 0.5 mentality, but does it actually happen consistently? Like,
mm,
is this team consistent? No.
right.
That's the real issue. Like
Yeah.
it can't be. And I like the idea of Brandon being like in the mid post or like
Mm,
very like when he's put in those positions where he
mm,
can high post, mid post area, it's quick decisions. He's not stopping the ball. Like the team does well.
mm,
It's the point where he can't be in those positions because they don't have another ball handler. He
right.
has to be the point guard. So he's trying to get people in the right positions, but it also looks like he's waiting and waiting and waiting. So we had 10 seconds left on the clock. Now he got to go play ISO ball. So is
Mm,
that necessarily just on Brandon? I'd say about 30% of it.
okay.
The 70%, that's where it gets me.
That's perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
all right. I appreciate the question.
yeah,
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 that's
yeah.
good.
I
Good.
had to get some sports in there. Like
Who's your favorite basketball player?
oh, Chris Paul.
Okay. You
Chris
said that
Paul.
definitively. Like,
Yeah, it's
like no,
no question.
yeah.
Like Chris Paul is like, and he get flack for not winning the ring,
I
and
don't give a fuck about it.
Nobody's more pissed than me that he didn't get that. He didn't get that Phoenix ring. Oh my god. But yeah, floor general.
Yeah.
I was a point guard in high school, so and like the same way that I
It's
said,
crazy we've never hooped. It's almost crazy we've never like
oh yeah,
intersected in like
yeah,
because
I, I've hooped many a times with all of the people who I mentioned that are mutual friends, Mo,
yeah.
Myron,
And
and all this stuff. I gave all them niggas buckets, but
my bro, we used to beat the shit out of Myron and AAU, bro. Bro, Oh yeah. That dog, dude.
Shout out to Myron, man.
Nah, fuck Myron. I like Myron. Fuck, that's my dog though. Fuck
yeah,
Myron.
but basketball. I mean, but that's where the competitive nature comes from.
Yeah,
Like that's where me wanting to be great and want to be better. Like I was mass comm broadcast journalism, so I used to report for the Saints, Pelicans, LSU,
yeah.
everything. Like, so I get it, I understand. But the last thing I want to do before we wrap is to just give you your flowers.
Oh, for sure.
Man, I've been watching. I'm a fan for real. Like, especially when you do the 55 at 5, and
Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
that's just playing out the 5. Like, I'm just like, I'm super proud. Keep doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I definitely, the sky's the limit for what you want to do. Your professionalism and everything that you do. I fuck with it. Tough. So
Appreciate it,
yeah.
bro. Appreciate it for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Nilly, follow him at it's Nilly at it's
Mhm.
underscore Nilly, right?
ITS_NILLY. You can also stream me on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, everywhere. Just type in Nilly and then you see the kid. Fire Life on the way. A lot of music coming soon. The biggest thing I want you to get from this is that these niggas can't fuck with me. Yeah, for sure.
Repetitively, these niggas can't fuck with me. We out.